Before we start and launch the event, I would like to greet upon Edward Tirtanata, CEO and co-founder of Kopi Kenangan, and James Prananto, CBD and co-founder of Kopi Kenangan. We are overjoyed to have you here today. Thank you again for coming. As for the members of the media that are present today, thank you for taking your time to be with us today. And I know that on expansion plans in Malaysia and how Kenangan Coffee differentiates itself and also its grab and go and more. All right. So after that, we will open the floor for a Q&A session. And finally, our barista, Mr. Yanwar Alif, and also our General Manager of Kenangan Coffee, Mr. Jordan Long, will be doing a coffee demonstration for you guys to watch, all right? And then we will move on to the Q&A session with all of our media, our friends, all right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite Edward Tirtanata, CEO and co-founder of Kopi Kenangan, for his opening remarks. Please, over to you.
Investors, namely from Jay-Z, Serena Williams, Eduardo Saverin, and other institutional investors who have been very kind in backing us. We really started from a very humble beginning 5 years ago, where we started off at a rundown office building right behind an elevator, because that is the only place that we could afford back then. Back then, we could not even afford a new coffee machine. We can only afford a second-hand coffee machine. Started with 4 people back then, and but then we had a big dream that we would like to spread our passion for Indonesian coffee. We would like to export Indonesian coffee, not just as a commodity, but then as a brand. And that is why we work our way through, and here we are today in Malaysia today to realize our 5 years dream. And hopefully this store today in Suria KLCC will be the first outlet, but it will not be the last. We have 4 more coming but in the month of October and November. Namely in Pavilion, New Central, and other outlets as well. We do hope that our journey in Malaysia we will be able to share our passion for coffee in our journey in Malaysia. And thank you for coming, and hopefully you will have a good time today. And please enjoy our cup of coffee that we proudly curate from different regions of Indonesia. And let me hand it over back to you.
All right, thank you, Edward, for the speech. All right, now I would like to invite James Prananto, CBD and also co-founder of Kopi Kenangan, to share some insight about the process, the digitization. Coffee maybe. And so please prepare one for me, yeah? Okay. Quality control and more. So please, the stage is shared.
Million downloads already. So it is something that we want to bring to Malaysia, and it is something that we want to share with our Malaysia customers, so they can get the benefit out of the app. One of the features that we will have in the app is actually our pre-ordering system, meaning that our customers, they can just open the app, do the transaction within the app, and they will get an alert. So once they come to the stores, they don't need to queue anymore. They just need to pick up their drinks and grab and go. Additionally, of course, by being the users of the app, the customers will have many other benefits, such as free vouchers, free drinks during their birthdays, even priority access to new product that hasn't been launched yet. Additionally, we will also be launching our Kenangan Points features, which is something that we have in Indonesia, where our customers can collect as many Kenangan Points as possible, and then later on trade it for any of the Kenangan product and beverages. Another highlight that I want to talk about is actually our Kenangan Academy. So with the launch of Kenangan Coffee in Malaysia, we also launched our Kenangan Academy in Uptown Petaling Jaya. So basically, Kenangan Academy will be a place where we actually train our barista. There will be 3 key areas that we will train. First is the hard skill on how to make coffee, for example, how to calibrate coffee machine, how to calibrate the coffee grinder, of course the soft skill, which how to serve our customers one cup at a time with heart, which is one of our big philosophies, and also the knowledge, the history of coffee. The Kenangan Academy is actually similar to the one that we have in Indonesia, which we opened in 2020. And up until today, we have managed to certify 2,300 Kenangan barista. So it is something that we hope we can replicate again in Malaysia. That's right. And probably my last point is on product differentiation. So coming to Malaysia, we understand that we have a lot of competitions. Hence, while coming to the market, we don't want to just offer your regular cappuccino, your regular Americano. So one of our hero products is called Kenangan Latte. In Indonesia, it is actually called Kopi Kenangan Mantan. Here, we will call it Kenangan Latte. And why it is very unique for us, because one is the beans. We are sourcing the beans from Indonesia. We actually work with our head of coffee, who was the fourth world barista champion in the world, to source our coffee. So he's sourcing the coffee from 4 different parts of Indonesia, which is Aceh, Flores, Sidikalang, and Dampit. So that blend will be called Kenangan blend, and it is something that we will bring to Malaysia. So that's unique to us. And other than sourcing the coffee from Indonesia, another unique point from the Kenangan Latte is actually our gula aren, which maybe some of you know it as palm sugar. So for our gula aren, we actually still source it right from the farmers, and in terms of the processing side, we actually process it by ourselves, so we don't use any supplier for that. So hence our gula aren is very unique to us. Later on, once Jordan and Arif show you guys the products, you can taste that its unique flavors in terms of sweetness. It's a bit caramelized, has a hint of honey, a bit of tamarind sourness. It has a smoky aroma and flavor, and then topped off by a bold yet smooth body. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone that's come here today. It is a dream come true for us to be able to do our first international expansion. We wanted to do this actually sooner in 2020, but then however with the pandemic it wasn't possible. So the fact that today we are able to open our first international outlet is a blessing for us. We are very excited to be in Malaysia with the good coffee culture. And we hope that we can share the love of Kopi Kenangan in Indonesia to Malaysia too. That's right. Thank you.
Can we do the countdown together, okay? Yeah. 2, 1. Woo! And that's it. The first store in Malaysia is now open. Alright. Okay, next we move come forward and you can take pictures as much as you wanted to. Alright? Okay.
And then going back to the question, it's for office and netizens. Actually, Kenangan Coffee, in terms of our target market, is pretty broad. So we don't have even in Indonesia, it is from age probably like 18, 19 until 50s. So, and in terms of male and female, the demographic is about 50-50. So we actually want to touch the mass market. And of course, I think this is a very prime location. It is next to the MRT. We will have a lot of foot traffic. It is also a strategy for us for brand awareness, because again, we are a new player in Malaysia, and I think this location is very, very visible.
To a lot more people. It just so happened that this is the first, but it's not the last.
Okay.
Concept, right? Kenangan Academy as well, which we started in 2018. The concept is very simple. We curate Indonesian coffee from all over Indonesia, the way to Papua, right? And we came up with our own proprietary blend. And we do believe that in order to serve a good cup of coffee, it is not just curating a good green bean, but you need a very good roasting machine like a ProBat, or you need a very good espresso machine as well, like as you can see over there. That is actually a Maverick Victoria Arduino. It is the first and only in Malaysia at the moment. Victoria Arduino, we do believe, is the leading espresso machine in the world, right, from Italy. And that is why we'd like to couple it with a good equipment, right, for all the beans that we have curated. And of course, it's not just the machine and the beans as well, but it's the human as well. And that is why we do believe that with training, we'll be able to give we'll be able to give, serve a good cup of coffee, right? Whether it be, calibrating the grinder, whether it be making sure that, the espresso shot is as per SCA or Specialty Coffee Association guideline. Those are not, skills that you can do right away, right? It requires training, and that is why, wherever we open, right, we'll have an academy to make sure that, we have a good barista serving a good cup of coffee that we have carefully curated.
And maybe to add a bit, actually our business model in Indonesia, we don't franchise. So I mentioned that we have 850 stores in Indonesia. It's all owned by us. It is a strategy that we bring to Malaysia. And actually that's the big reason for the Kenangan Academy. So in order for us to be able to scale, we need baristas that are up to our standards. That's why we actually made the Kenangan Academy. And then going to, I think you asked whether it is open for public. For now, it's not. It's not open for public because since we are opening many stores, the focus right now is actually for training our baristas. And then I think your second question was the differentiation. I think I touched earlier in my speech. So one of our hero product is called Kopi Kenangan in Indonesia, but then in Malaysia it will be called Kenangan Latte. So the main differentiation with the Kenangan Latte is one is our beans. As I mentioned, we have our own Kenangan blend which we source from multiple parts of Indonesia. And then secondly is our gula aren, which we actually still source from farmers directly. We actually even process it by ourselves. So we don't use our supplier for our gula aren. So later on you can taste our products where our gula aren and coffee will be a significant difference with our competitors. Kopi Kenangan, but here we call it Kenangan Coffee because we actually, in terms of our dreams, I mentioned that we want to dream big. So it's not going to be only Malaysia. We hope to be able to go to maybe London, even UAE, even the US. So we did our study. Of course, the word coffee in Indonesia and Malaysia, it's something familiar, but not necessarily outside. That's why we use the word coffee, Kenangan Coffee. And the same goes with latte, because when we do our menu here, we also want it to be universal. So Kopi Kenangan maybe makes sense here, but doesn't necessarily make sense in the other countries that we want to do it to.
Marking, right? And we will, again, really the genesis of why we created Kopi Kenangan is we would like to give a good cup of affordable coffee in Indonesia and to the world, right? Because one thing that we realize, globally, most coffee shop employs third home business model, meaning that the cost of your comfortable sofa, fast Wi-Fi is integrated to your cup of coffee. So that's why we find it very hard to find a good cup of affordable coffee 5 years ago. And that is why we created this grab and go business model where the place is small, as you can see here. That's why it's very packed. I'm sorry if it's hot and packed because our outlet by default is usually quite small, right? Because we would like to make sure that all the cost goes into providing a good cup of coffee, right? Whether it be from the Arabica blend that we launch, or whether it be from the milks that we have chosen. I think or the organic palm sugar that we carefully collect from farmers. Those are important, right? And that is why we want to make sure that the pricing is affordable. We do believe that the pricing is affordable. It's not like your global third coffee chain, where it's typically more on the expensive side. Whereas for us, we want it to be something that you can enjoy every day. The original name is Kopi Kenangan. We changed it to Kenangan Coffee because we would like to do a global expansion, right? Because it's weird if you call it Kopi Kenangan Coffee. We feel like we need the word coffee. Say if we open in London or New York. Obviously, coffee is universal, right? Everyone understands coffee, whether it be in Malaysia, Cambodia, Singapore, and others, right? But then why the name Kenangan itself? Back then, it was actually quite. It's a pretty simple reason actually. Back then we said, oh, okay, we wanna have the word kopi because we want it to be localized. And then what goes well with kopi? Hey, I think Kenangan seems to go really well. And back then we said, hey, what Kenangan seems to be most memorable. We said, oh, Kenangan Mantan. And that is why actually the first menu name is Kopi Kenangan Mantan. And it even has a meaning. I don't know whether it's translatable to Malay, but then the meaning is that kenangan manis yang sudah tidak ada, tapi suka muncul tiba-tiba di pikiran. I don't know whether that makes sense, but I hope it does, yeah. So that is the origin of the name Kopi Kenangan, which we made 5 years ago with some random graphic designer. Yeah, we didn't have much money to hire a brand agency, so we can only think of the name ourselves and ask someone to draw for us.
The best cup of coffee. So, Ali?
I'm ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, for today, we are Jordan and me will be make two products from the Kenangan Coffee. The first product is ice Kenangan Coffee, and the second product is ice avocado coffee. And starting right now.
Yes.
Yes. The first, we get a flask, the capper, and the cleaning all the porta filter to make sure it's dry and not a mess in the inside. And then you can ready the scaling for the coffee dose, and I'm gonna use 18 grams of the coffee.
So why is it 80 grams, Ali?
Because this is a perfect extraction and a good espresso we have, because we can less the coffee ground or more coffee ground. The extraction is very under and over extraction, and the result, the taste is very bad. Right now we can less the coffee ground.
So we make sure that every cup of coffee is precise based on our Kopi Kenangan or Kenangan Coffee's standard. So every extraction, every espresso is actually 18 grams, so that we make sure that this is actually our secret formula for the best cup of espresso.
Correct. And right now, I will tap all around the bottom filter to make sure the perfect extraction. And I'm using distribution tools to help me to get more extraction. And right now, I'm using the cube temp to help me to boost the coffee.
So this is an automated temper,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So most of the time when you see people using the manual, so it can be inconsistent. And for Kenangan Coffee, we use automated so that make sure that every shot is actually at perfection.
Yes, correct. The extraction.
So the machine that we're using, this silver armor looks very, very nice. Can you tell us more?
Yes, this machine is brand new from the Victoria, Basically, it's very friendly and good for the environment. And the espresso, we will see, the espresso is very good yield and down in the cup. But this machine will be create the taste like a very rich and the flavors, and then little bit acidity, and then rounded, and along the sweetness for the aftertaste. This is the best. The first ingredients I'll make ice Kenangan latte, right? And right now I will prepare the second ingredients. And adding gula aren. This gula aren made by the organic. You can see it's so very thick, but it's mildly it's so very acidity, and like the brown sugar and a hint of a smoky.
So gula aren is actually palm sugar. So unlike gula melaka, so for members of media, if you are curious if gula aren and gula melaka is the same, it's not actually, because the sauce is different. Gula melaka is actually from coconut, gula aren is actually from palm.
Right now, I'm adding 1 scoop ice cube. And then I'm mixing with Kenangan milk. And I'm slowly pouring.
Kenangan milk is actually a secret recipe of milk combination that is exclusive for Kenangan Coffee or Kopi Kenangan.
And right now, and the last ingredients, I will put the short espresso. You can see the layer. The layer of coffee will be slowly dropped in the bottom.
Wow. So you can put it up so that the members of media can drool over it.
You can see the product. It's so very tasty, right? Okay, Madam Julian, please try this product.
Yes, please, I really need. my Kenangan latte compared to gula melaka. Gula aren, in terms of the taste, like what James mentioning, is actually a bit of, it's an organic sugar from palm, and because of this, because it comes from palm sugar, in terms of the fragrance, the aroma is actually very, very smooth, and the way that you roast it or caramelize it, that's why it gives this very smooth, silky texture and taste without compromising in terms of the body, but yet not overpowering. That's why it gives a very balance in terms of taste, and together with our espresso shot, it's really, really balanced, perfect in every sip, and gives you, with our Kenangan milk, it really gives you that creamy taste, that perfect blends with the espresso and gula aren. Cheers.
And inside, the cleaning, get all the waste inside, and get ready to scale. And for myself, I want to use the service. I'm using the chickens from coffee. I'm ready. And for fun fact for our readers, at Victoria area 75, which means its taste is so very rich of flavors and a creamy texture, and then sweet and fruity for the aftertaste. And right now,
Wow, it's very, very creamy. So this is avocado mix that are also fully imported from Indonesia.
yes, and then I'm adding the ice cream. As second ingredients, I'm using Kenangan mix, secret ingredients. And then we have one shot for my iced avocado coffee. We're just using one shot because to create the taste balance between avocado, milk, and coffee. After you mix this product, you can get more combination for the three ingredients in the inside.
Wow, these three colors.
It's so very beautiful and tasty.
Yes, very nice color.
Okay, then Jordan, you can ready to
Yes,
try
please.
the second product. Thank you.
Bagi ladies depan lah. Lelaki tanpa lah. Okey, 1, 2, 3. Terus kerja lagi.